Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a follow-up to the story about Vanessa Bryant, of course, the widow of Kobe Bryant, in the fatal helicopter crash. She has won her lawsuit. Miss Vanessa Bryant was suing for $75 million for emotional distress. She was awarded $16 million. And if you remember, there was a Mr. Chris Chester who was also suing because his family passed away in that horrific crash, and he was awarded $15 million. Now, at first, the LA County tried to get this thrown out of court, dismissed, because they said, well, Vanessa Bryant, Miss Bryant has absolutely no emotional distress. There was no harm done to her. Of course, yeah, they definitely tried to cover their backs, but thankfully she had a good attorney that kept pushing this through until it made it into the court system. Now, damaging evidence against the county was Mr. Lee, Vanessa Bryant attorney, showing jurors videos of off-duty deputies drinking at a bar and basically showing the photos. They also had other images that he was able to get off video, to showing two men laughing together as they was passing these photos around. It was even to the fact that one of the deputies, as he was showing the photos, before they got a reaction from the person that he was showing it to, he was laughing about the photos before he even handed it over to the people he was trying to show it to. And he described the crash victim as hamburgers and piles of meat. Now, this is your LA County Sheriff Department, and this is your LA County Fire Department, who's supposed to serve and protect the people of their area, and this is how they basically was acting. Now, it took the jurors only a few hours to come back with this verdict. 10 days worth of testimony, it took them only a few hours. That's telling you the jury knew LA County was guilty. Flat out guilty. Now, this is the part about the payment. First, we need to explain the breakdown of the payment. The LA Sheriff Department is going to pay Miss Bryant $2.5 million for emotional distress and $7.5 million for future suffering. And the LA County Fire Department is going to pay her $1 million for basically past suffering and $5 million for future suffering. Why did the jury do this? Because the jury knows that those photos are still out there. The jury knows that those photos, years to come, will be shared and they will pop back up. That's why the jury awarded that amount. Now, the difference in the payment was that the jury basically found the sheriff department had a practice of sharing deceased people photos, while the fire department lacked significant training and policies to prevent this. So, I read that's like the LA department, they knew they weren't supposed to show those photos yet, and still they did. Very important, very important. Now, let's look at the amount of devices this was passed around on for weeks before this lawsuit basically took place. The photos were passed around with at least 28 sheriff department devices, and on at least 12 fire department devices. So they were passing this thing around. They knew it from the beginning. They just laughed about it. Now it's time to pay up. So let's look at the response that the LA County had to this verdict. After the trial, the lawyers representing the county was like, they basically were grateful that the jurors did not award her the $75 million that she was originally asking for. And that goes to show that her request for that emotional distress didn't support that she should receive $75 million. But you know what? They awarded her $16 million. And they also awarded Mr. Chris Chester $15 million. Now, we know in America, you don't get a lot of times the total amount that you sue for. That's why you sue them for over the amount. You sue somebody for $100 million, you may only turn around and get something like $33 million. So Miss Vanessa Bryant and her attorneys were smart by suing them for $75 million. Because if she just would have sued them for $20 million, they would have awarded her what, $3 million? So she was smart for reaching out to $75 million. Looking at this and looking at how the LA Sheriff Department and the fire department regularly shared photos, laughed about the photos, they deserve this lawsuit and they deserve to pay up. Now they need to put policies in place, and let's see if anybody's head's going to roll or if they're going to fire anyone for these type of actions. I'm gonna keep following this story. I'm gonna keep following it because I want to see what damages is going to happen to those officers that were sharing those photos. So basically, subscribe, like, and share this video, because in the future I will do a part 3 as more information coming out. And until next time, stay positive.